manager, but there comes a time where the game has evolved.
Yeah.
I mean, we always say it's not too much changes. It's not new from what we used to see back in the day. But every time they reinvent something that was there already, they bring it back, they change it, and then Jose doesn't seem to be ready to keep up. I don't know if with Edin Dzeko and then Dusan Tadic and then Kagla Soyuncu and Fred, he's going to play the new football, play attacking and all of this.
Stop that.
But
prolific, then Fred. Prolific, then Tadic. Prolific, then Maza. Edin Dzeko.
This morning, when I was thinking about this Mourinho thing, I wrote something down. See, it may sound very elitist and then boring.
Yeah.
But attacking football is the way to go, because it gives you a chance to control.
Maybe he's changed.
Okay, well, hopefully.
So you think Mourinho doesn't give you attacking football?
No, he doesn't.
He has never done that.
Did you watch his team at
Real Madrid? He set the record. He set the record in England.
I watched some of his matches. He attacked, yes. But
the fact
usually
the fact that
whenever he takes a lead in the game, he turns around.
No,
so what do you want him to do?
Have you even the fact?
He takes the lead, and what do you want him to do?
Let us finish.
Fact does not even support what they are saying.
If
you go to Real Madrid, Mourinho won the league with record points, record goals. 121 goals.
Let the points be made.
A team that is not playing attacking football will be able to score 121 goals in 38 matches.
You did not let me end.
At Chelsea, he did the same thing.
The data doesn't back that. And what I was going to tell you is that
I just gave you data.
Allow him.
Mourinho doesn't play attacking possession-based football,
which we all know.
Which is true.
Which some of you know.
His
myself and FIFA.
His average possession per game is there. It is below 60. His average sustained pressure per game is there. It is below 2.3 in any game. Mourinho doesn't do that from Chelsea to Real Madrid. At Real Madrid was even his best counter-attacking days. When it was clear when Ronaldo was in his prime, he used that pace. It is clear that's what he does. And for me, it's not going to be sustainable. When he went to Roma, he was quick to go and look for Romelu Lukaku and Paulo Dybala and he even brought back El Shaarawy to come and run those channels for him. It's not something that's sustainable. The Mourinho going to Fenerbahce is a political move. Current Fenerbahce president Ali Koch and then his assistant Mr. Aziz. Both of them want to be Ali Koch want to maintain as a Fenerbahce president. And Mr. Aziz want to usurp him as a Fenerbahce president. Okay. So apparently it is Aziz that contacted Mourinho first. Because in his campaign promises, he had told them that he will bring Jose Mourinho back to Fenerbahce. Okay. Because they've not won anything and he believes that once Mourinho comes, even if it's the Turkish Cup, they'll win and they are okay. Because this season, they had one of the best league numbers in any league in Europe, but they failed to win the league. They lost just one match. But then Galatasaray went ahead to win the league.
So Galatasaray went unbeaten or what?
No, Galatasaray also lost, but then I think Fenerbahce had more draws. I think about 5 or 6 games that they had drawn.
They lost the league by 3
points. So it was very sad. Very, very good performance throughout the season. And they've been coming very close, but Galatasaray seems to be beating them. So they said that they will bring in a special one. Who has the Midas touch? And both of them were using it as campaign promises. Okay. This one goes here and say, hey, me the Mourinho beba.
So now who has got him?
Then the senior man, the incumbent,
on the number.
Pass back, we go see move for back.
Mourinho tell politician.
It's dead.
The incumbent went to see Jose and said, hey, me, I'm the one who is here. I'm the one who make things work. Apparently, Jose should have met the opposition leader today or tomorrow. But all of those things is gone. He has signed 2 years with the incumbent president, and he's going to be the next manager for Fenerbahce. The man, Ali Koch, is also hoping that he can retain the seat as Fenerbahce president, and then they will win something under him. Because he hasn't won anything, and it's not a good thing.
All right,
for
so
himself.
Time fast spent. Can we touch on Kompany and Bayern Munich, please?
No, more quick one on this Mourinho before we look at that.
You want to have a bite, right?
Like if Aviro talks to us, like something.
I was trying to move on. I said, let me talk about it.
You see, people talk about this fine attacking style of football, and but very entertaining sometimes. I remember when Abramovich was owner of Chelsea. One of the issues that he had with the Chelsea team at that time was the fact that we're not playing any attractive football, any nice football at that time. So he drew parallel with maybe teams like Arsenal and City and the other clubs who were playing that skillful, aggro type of football, and we're still winning some games. But I see football, for me, the end is what is very important, which of course is your ability to win the game. So teams play very nicely. They score a goal and they sit back and make sure that at least they protect the goal that they've scored. And I asked you whether you watched Mourinho at AS Roma. I saw a lot of his games at Roma, and they were not defensive in any of the games that I saw. Very, very offensive guys. Even though maybe some of the material that he had at his disposal at that time for me were not very good material. Because Bovie and those guys up and coming, to take some time for them before they can get into the elements and things like that. So Fenerbahce actually took me by surprise because I wasn't expecting to go there. But is it a bad club? I mean, if you go to Turkey, to Turkey, and
Fenerbahce has history.
If you go to Turkey, it has a lot of history. Galatasaray and Fenerbahce, they have a lot of history.
Just like Stephen Appiah played there.
Yeah, just like
even there you at a point in time.
Just like Ahaz and Kotoko here, has a lot of history. Yeah, and people talk about Mourinho and they talk about him as if he's coming to the end of his career. I don't think so. I don't think so. Because no, I don't think so. But how many coaches in the world have been able to hold on to their position for let's say 4 or 5 years, maybe with the exception of Arteta, Pep, and Klopp, and some one or two others. All the other coaches, 1 year, 2 years, they either gone or they are sacked. And it is normal. It is normal in the life of every coach. So if Mourinho handles Roma and he's sacked or he leaves or whatever,
he played 2 finals in Europe.
Yes, and he goes to Fenerbahce. So all of a sudden, Fenerbahce is so low, so Mourinho is going down. Is that the implication? I don't think.
Turkish league that he's going.
No. But it's not about the Turkish league or whatever.
Okay.
It can be any league.
All right.
It can be any league.
Just say.
It can be any league. Once he decides to go there, it can be any league to go and build the team and. Okay. Let's wait and see what Fenerbahce will do next season. That's what is very important because when he went to Roma, people talk about. I mean, a lot of things happen. A lot of things happen at Roma. Yeah. And he's going to Fenerbahce now. And I think that Fenerbahce, he will be able to achieve something else. Yes. He will leave Fenerbahce, he will leave Turkey with at least 2 trophies. And that for me...
Fenerbahce with at least 2 trophies. You see, that's the thing with Mourinho. It is the things that he has said in the past that comes to bite him. Mourinho said in the past that it would be a disappointment for him to win the Europa League. Then he went to win the Conference League and was making noise about it. This is in 2013. I don't want to win the Europa League. It would be a big disappointment for me. I don't want my players to feel the Europa League is our competition.
So you were saying this to inspire his players when they were playing in the Champions League. So haven't you changed your mind? Haven't you ever changed your mind before?
Can you let him land?
Senior, calm down. Calm down.
Let the man talk.
Then after that, he went to Roma, won the Conference League. Said, the biggest achievement in my career is reaching 2 European finals in Roma. It's impossible to do it. I don't think anybody will do it again, said the special one. And you see, just some years ago, Mourinho sent a snide comment to former Manchester City manager Manuel Pellegrini. When Pellegrini left Real Madrid to go and coach Malaga, nobody is saying that Malaga is on the status of Fenerbahce. But then if you tell a coach that when you leave Madrid, you will not go to Malaga, you will not go to any small team, it is Inter, top 2 in England that will come for you.
But Fenerbahce is big.
Yes.
No two ways about it.
No, but at the time, he was, calm down. He was specific that it is a top 2 club in England or Italy or Germany that he will always coach. Okay, let me read that to you. I didn't, these are not my words.
Read it for me.
Chairman.
Read it, my brother.
He says that Jose Mourinho, in ridiculing Manuel Pellegrini's decision to coach Malaga after being fired by Real Madrid at the end of the season, Mourinho stoked Thursday Spanish league, blah, 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 blah.
One quote, you are just reading.
One quote.
No.
Okay.
One quote.
I'm coming to give you the quote, but he's
okay, give us time.
Mourinho said the same thing couldn't happen with me.
In quote?
Oh, that quote in here, and is here, no,
you finish.
Shall we go ahead,
couldn't happen with me. That's happened with Manuel Pellegrini because if Madrid fires me, I won't go and coach Malaga. I would go to a big club in England or Italy. Full stop.
No, but he's not going to a club like Malaga. Yeah. No, but when he says a club like Malaga, he's not looking at Malaga as a.
So where is the big club in England?
Please. When he says I will not go to a club like Malaga, he's looking at Malaga in terms of their status in football. That's what he's looking at. Not Malaga as a club. He's looking at their status, and he thinks that Malaga's status in football.
Coach,
Can you compare Malaga to Fenerbahce?
No, I'm not comparing. You see, I don't do that.
That's what I said. Fenerbahce.
Yes, you can't compare Malaga to Fenerbahce.
You asked me to quote, and you quote him.
So no, we are moving on.
Oh,
yeah.
No.
We are doing the Champions League.
Please, 30 seconds. You see, a lot of people.
But you had your bite on.
A lot of people have held this opinion about Mourinho, and it saddens me because it is not true.
It saddens you.
Yes. It is not true that
your sadness does not matter.
It is not true.
It doesn't really
is not true that Mourinho
everybody.
is a defensive coach.
In
In fact, what Mourinho does is that you see, Mourinho is very strategic.
Oh, Charlie.
He selects matches based on the Arsenals available to him.
I know you not like him because when he was in England,
the way he used
consistently.
The way he used to beat and you see, Mourinho looks at the Arsenals available to him.
As a Wenger wanted to go and throw blue.
Mourinho looks at the materials available to him and map up strategies, especially in big matches. Look, I mean, every Chelsea supporter listening to me out there, Mourinho's second spell at Chelsea, nobody can convince me that Jose Mourinho was not playing beautiful football with Thibaut Courtois in post, Branislav Ivanovic at the right position. Hold on.
He wasn't playing an all-attacking football.
Dela. He was playing attacking beautiful football.
But Steve, you are even talking about his second spell. I'm looking at even his first spell. When he had Dimi and Duff and Ian Robin,
yes,
Cole and those guys, was Chelsea first spell at that time? No, that was what. Just was what
he won the league with 100 points, 121 goals.
When
121 goals.
Divide
121 by 38 matches. It will give you an average about 3.5, 3.8 goals per game.
I'm asking that. So when he went to Italy to go and coach Inter,
so that's what a pragmatic coach does. You look at your material. And then you play according to your strength. Yes, you play according to your strength.
And his was always...
You play according to your strength. That's
okay,
clearly.
Charlie, can we move on?
When he was at Real Madrid with all those players...
Kompany moves to Bayern Munich on a 3-year contract. The most surprising news to you?
I hear he speaks German and because he's played for...
Ojumafu has sent you voice notes.
He speaks German because he's played for Wolfsburg. Very surprising. You see... We are looking at clubs and in Europe, and I mean nobody can talk about some of the big clubs in Europe without maybe mentioning Bayern Munich for what they've been able to achieve in Germany and even in Europe. So I don't know what exactly is happening there, because I mean, is it their directors or is it the fact that those guys have been there for a very long time? Because of that, they want the team to move in a certain direction, and they think that the team is not moving in that direction. Because when Tuchel was about to leave, I know they nearly made a U-turn. Because the last check, at least as many as about 22,000 or thereabouts supporters they signed to a document that they should retain him. But at the last minute, Tuchel decided to leave anyway. You see, you look at Europe now, and anytime a managerial position becomes vacant, the names that are quoted are basically the same. They are basically the same.
Yeah. It's a merry-go-round.
Yeah, the same. The names that are quoted are the same. So Ruben Amorim, they quote Xabi Alonso. I mean, about 2-3 names
will spring up.
Yes, every time. It tells you that these times we don't have a lot of coaches around that can come and take up some of these positions. Most of the senior coaches are occupied. They are employed. So Ancelotti, maybe Pep, and the other coaches that I can mention are employed. So teams are also looking at rebuilding their squad. Because if you look at Bayern Munich, for me, it's about time most of the players left. It's about time most of them left because they've been there for a very long time and they are not contributing anything to the course of the team. So maybe they are looking at a very young coach who will stay there for a little bit longer, more years than maybe the Johankis and the other guys did at Bayern, so that he can work on the young guys and make sure that they for Germany, I'm sure Bayern Munich will excel, given the fact that they have basically all the best players that you can think about in Germany, and they have the money to also go and buy any player who pops up from any club, maybe with the exception of Leverkusen. So for Germany, they will try. But as whether they will be able to do very well in Europe, that's another thing that the Bayern Munich guys will have to look at.
All right, so Kojama, for good morning to you. I've heard your message, Jose Mourinho disciples. We hear you. 7 minutes to 7 here on your superstation, Love 99.5 FM. Are we going to talk Maresca or we should move on?
Oh, Maresca has come. He's coming. He's almost there, actually.
Maresca.
What did you say? What are you remembering? Maresca.
Just the coach is Enzo Maresca.
But who did he want? Who did he want?
I mean, some years back, this guy would not even make a backroom.
So maybe today. You're talking about years back.
Enzo Maresca.
I trust the standard has dropped.
I don't.
Here to Enzo Maresca. Hey.
Probably you can come and change things, you know. But sometimes it was Andres Villas Boas.
Enzo Maresca, the slope between Leicester and Chelsea is very steep.
Was it a bad decision to have let Pochettino leave?
You see, I've always had this conversation with Javier off air, and I kept on saying it here, that at this point in time, this Chelsea team, they needed 2 years under Mauricio Pochettino.
Yeah.
Like, yes. You see, I believe...
I think they could have given him another year.
I believe strongly that human face, that man management of Mauricio Pochettino was important for these young players for 2 years.
And they were getting it all. I mean, the last 10, 12 matches to the end of the season, they were getting it right. Yeah,
from what our colleague Rahman Osman in London was reporting the last time, what I get is that Pochettino knew that Chelsea wanted to go in a certain way in terms of the sporting direction.
Yeah.
And I always go back to Arsenal and Mikel Arteta and Edu, where it's always a round table. You say you want this, why do you want him? We look at character, we look at... And Edu said it recently, that they can even look at things like mental health of players before they sign them. He knew these things from the beginning. Then when things began to get bad, he was always talking that, oh, I don't take decisions, I don't take... Then he began to get results. Then he had a bargaining power in his hands. Then went back to let the owners and then the sporting directors know that, see, I have to have a bite and a say. In fact, enough control when it comes to who leaves and who comes in. And that is one thing that Chelsea don't want to allow to happen again. Because when they came to Chelsea, it was a bunch of players that different managers have come to buy, not players that were bought for a particular way of play. And they realized that if you are looking at the City model, if you are looking at the Arsenal model in recent times, which, yes, hasn't gotten any major trophy, but you can tell that it's succeeding, then you need a sporting direction. The Chelsea hierarchy is clear. Claire Lake and then Todd Bowley and Hans Jogwise are at the top. They've appointed their sporting directors. Then after that, you come to the technical area. The technical directors used to have Christopher Veville, who has left. Now there is Joe Schultz before even the coach. So the direction is clear, and they expect that any manager that comes in should go according to the direction of the club. And if you come and at the end of the day, you want to move away from the direction and how they want to play, then definitely they are not going to accept. So that's where Mauricio Pochettino had his issue.
All right, but let's look at the statistics here. On our Facebook page,
this
right?
general statistics.
Yeah, so let's take a look at it.
You can tell clearly that Enzo Maresca's Leicester City were averagely a better side than Chelsea's team last
season. But we also looking at the level of competition. The level of competition.
So that's why
it will come in.
Exactly. That's why I alluded to just the statistics.
Okay.
Leicester City last season, the championship, they had the best in terms of revenue, in terms of the wage bill, about 57 more than the next person. So they had a lot of money. Again, the team that was there had already been there for a while. So the environment, they knew themselves before. Mauricio Pochettino took up a different side. You understand? But what are Chelsea looking for? They said they are looking for somebody that plays possession-based football because they think that with that you can control the game.
And they said one thing that also convinced them was his knowledge of the Chelsea squad.
Exactly. According to them, he walks into the interview and he knows the Chelsea players as far as those who are even on loan.
But don't you know them?
But it's the details. Mm-hmm. He had details. He was asked a specific question of how he was going to use Enzo, Lavia, and then Caicedo, and he seems to have a plan. I mean, it's just an interview. It can go wrong on the field of play. but I'm sure Pochettino also
practically
impressed them. But you come and you see that things are not the same.
Even Porter
also impressed them. 62% chance creation, goal scores. I told people to calm down. They'll have seen that they've changed like 3 managers.
Where is he? But I think one major problem about Todd Bowley has been he's just acting like Roman Abramovich with the handling of coaches.
You see, if managers leave.
Yes, I agree. Porter was not maybe the correct choice, but look at the Tuchel sacking, for instance. For me, it didn't make sense.
You see the thing about managers and they are leaving the clubs. As soon as we hear that a manager has left a club, the first thing that comes to our mind is that he's been sacked. But there are situations where the manager himself also decides to leave based on the direction that the team wants to go. So just like Tuchel, the man you mentioned, Tuchel was not sacked. The team wanted a certain direction, and he was looking the opposite direction. So clearly they were not aligned, and he had to leave. So that's that. And just like Poch too, the team wanted a certain direction. He was looking at the opposite direction, and clearly if you are not aligned, that you can't work.
If you remember the Graham Potter era, Chelsea didn't have a the sporting directors were not in place at the time before he was appointed. You understand? And for me, that's my little problem. Delasi, at the end of the day, it's not going to be the same thing as he had at Leicester City. Yes, he has some Premier League experience. He has coach assistant under Pellegrini, Manchester City,
United.
Yeah, not enough. But that's what he has in his shares box coming.
Yeah.
And
I think it's a gamble. Anyway.
Yeah, the level is different. The advantages is that now this Chelsea team wasn't as novel or new as when Pochettino was picking them. Now they know themselves. They play together for a year. They have some basics that he wants to work on. He knows some guys in there. He knows Cole Palmer. He has worked with him before. He knows Romeo Lavia. He has worked with him before. And he believes that with these boys, he has worked with also this Italian central midfielder, Cesar Casade, at Leicester. So maybe with this, he can come in and build something. But like you said, it's a huge gamble.
Yeah.
We'll wait to see if he pays off or not.
Okay.